Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I go any further, I would like to wish you a happy new year and I hope that you have enjoyed your Christmas. Um, in the last video, we looked at workflows, so we looked at classic workflows and so on. Today, we'll look at business process flow, and I'll show you exactly what business process flow is, when to use them, and how to build one from scratch in the Power Platform. So business process flow, also commonly known as BPF, is a kind of flow that you can visually see, and it is used to provide a streamlined user experience that guides people through the stages of a business process that their organization, their company has defined. So you can think of it like a checklist across the top form, telling users what step they are on and what information is required and what the next step is. Um, business processes, business process flows are mainly used in model-driven apps and are stored in Dataverse. And as I said, they are there to guide users through the stages, to improve consistency, and also to reduce errors like missed data or filling in the wrong data and so on. So this is how they look like. This is what a business process looks like. As you can see, this is a table and you have it normally have the stage process of qualify, develop, process, and close. Or it could be lead, opportunity, and close, or case intake, investigation, resolution. So you can name them how you want, but you get the idea. And in each stage, you have steps. And in these steps is where you put the data that is required, right? So you, per stage, you need a mandatory of one step, but more often than not, you will end up putting more steps. So as you can see here, identify contact, and you will identify them right here. Purchase time frame, then you will insert a detail here. And then once you finish with that one, then you go to the next stage. Just a quick clarification, business process flows do not automate actions. They guide users. So while Power Automate performs automation and workflows, like classic workflows, run logic in the background, business process flows guide users into doing a task. So you're doing the task as you're being guided stage by stage. A best practice is to use BPF for guidance and flows for automation. So that's that. And before we proceed on to making a BPF, so we are going to go to our solution and make one. But common mistakes to avoid, making too many stages. You don't need to make so many different stages. I would say 3 to 6 stages per table is good. Or adding too many required fields or trying to use BPF as automation. You got to keep your BPF simple, logical, and user focused, because at the end of the day, you're trying to make it as easy as possible for the user and guide them to get the best outcome. So how do you make a BPF? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our solution for expense management. And then in here is what we're going to create it. So what we're going to create is an expense request approval for our table. So if you remember, I will just open up here. Let's go play it. But you remember our expense app management, and in here, if I go to expense request and I want to create a new one, this is what I have, but I want to change this into a process, into a business process. So what I'm going to do is I will go here, just click on all if you need to, and then go on new. You will go to automation, you'll go to processes, and then you'll go to business process flow. And in here is where you will name your process. I'll call it expense process approval. I don't think that's how you spell it. Approval. And then the table, obviously, we're gonna expense request should be the table. That's our table. So you have to choose a table, and then you say create. And then this will take you into the interface where you create your business process. So as you can see, you have stages and you have steps. And steps are within the stage. So on the right hand side, you can add the stages from here, but you can also do it from the right hand side as well. I'm going to do it from the right hand side. So I'm going to create a simple approval process for our expense request. And what I'm going to do is on my, as you can see, this is my first stage, and you want to name it as well. to make it easier for people to understand. So I'll call this data capture. Category, you can choose category here as qualify, develop, purpose. I don't really need to do that. The entity, which is the expense request table, and then I'll say apply. And once you say apply, you want to go to details here, and this is where you put your steps. So let's say I just want to use one step here. I'm going to name it as a step here. Let's say that what do I need to put in here? I might say I want to put the title, and I will make it required. You can make it business required as well, which means that you have to put that detail before you can proceed to the next step. And then I'll say apply. So that's applied. And what I want to do now is I want to go to component. I want to add another stage. All you have to do is click and drag it to this plus button here. And then you can just click on it and then make a new stage. I'll call this the review stage. So I'll just call it review. And I'll leave the category as it is. I don't need that. And in the steps, what I'm gonna do is I will just use, can't really think much. I'll use description. So we just leave description. Do you want it to be required or not? I'll leave this one as not required. And then I'll just say apply. And once that's done, I will use another one. So let's just make 3 stages for now. Just keep this simple. I'll put this one and I'll call this stage approval. And then if I go into the details and then into the steps, I will just go to the status reason per se. Let's just go. This typically should be for the manager, but I'll go there and I'll just say apply. So as you can see, we have a data capture. I will rename this. I'm not sure why it didn't happen. Review, and then I'll just apply. And then here, I'll say approval, and then I'll apply. So I've just renamed them, and they all have one step each. Typically, we'll end up putting more steps, but for now, we'll just keep it as one step. And you can also edit the security role. So you can create 2 processes for different security roles. Let's say you want to create one for the managers, and then you want to create one for the employees. You can also do that. Once you do that, you want to save it. So I'm going to save it. And then once it is saved, you want to activate it. Activate. When you're activating it, it might take some time. Sometimes you might need to reload. But for now, we'll just wait for it. If it gets too long, I'll skip the waiting part. Yeah, so this stuff does happen. I'll just wait. If it gets too long now, I will just, what you can do is you can refresh it as well. But I just see how long it takes us. If it's too long, I'll just skip it. Yeah, so it is activated. Now when I do go here, done, I think I will refresh my app. So I just need to go to my application. Let's see if that has come across. And then I'll try to create a new one. And now I should have my business process, as you can see here. So if I click on data capture, title, let's just make it as an SI. That's done. So that says inactive because I need to save it first. So that's done. And then once you save that first one, then you can go to the next stage. So here it is active now. Description. Let's say SI for clients. And then you go to the next stage. And then in here you can say approved, pending, or rejected, but I'll just say approved and then finish. So that's done. So that's done, but how about if you wanted to have, let's say, more data steps in here? So what you're gonna need to do is you will need to go to your business process flow. So I'll go back here. I'll go back here. The first thing that you need to do is deactivate it. And then go on the business and then put the steps again. But what I'm going to do is I will go to my table here. I'll go to my expense request table, and I'll create new columns. I'll create a yes no column. So I'll just say I'll go to columns, and I'll create new columns. I will say receipt uploaded. That's not how you spell uploaded. Or I'll just leave it at receipt upload. And the data type, I want to make it a boolean, so just a yes or a no, just like that. Default, I want to keep it as, okay, we just leave it as no, and then save. Another thing that we just leave it as that. We just created one. I am going to find it. Okay, that's fine. So if I go back to my solution, I should just be in my expense. I'll just publish all the customization. Might take a bit of time, but so we've created a new column. What we want to do is we want to go back to the business process flow designer, and then we want to that column that we created, we want to put that as a data step. So we want to say, has the documents or has the receipts been uploaded, and we want to say yes or no, and we want to make that as a required entry. So we'll just wait for this. Yeah, so if I go here, I'll just refresh it to make sure everything's in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deactivate it first. And if I go here, for example, where you see there's only one step here, but I can go to components and I will add another step. Didn't come. There's something wrong with my mouse, but that's how you do it. So you just need to put that second step in there. And what I'm going to do is this one, the receipt upload. And you can change the name as well. You can say, has the receipt been uploaded? Or you could just say, is receipt uploaded? Question mark. You leave that as required, apply, and then I will say save, and then I'll activate it. And then once we go to our expense request and we try to create a new expense request, what should need to happen is that we will need to say yes, it has been uploaded, and then we'll have to tick yes to move into the next stage. I'll show you how that looks like. So this is all done. Yeah, it's been activated. So I will just go to my application, expense request. I'll just refresh it to make sure that we get everything carried across. And I'll say new. Go to data capture, title. You just say food. Has the receipt been uploaded? So now if you have uploaded the receipt, you can say yes. And then save. And as you can see, if I click here, food, that's the title. Is the receipt uploaded? Yes. Move to the next stage. So that's how you do a BPF, a business process flow. You always want to make a clear stage names so that users understand. And the true power of business process flows is when you combine it with Power Automate for for real value. You want to add approvals once a certain stage has been reached, and so on like that. So you can add Power Automate flows or workflows. If you go back here, as you can see, it does allow you to add workflows. So you can add workflows in there. So Power Automate flows or your classic workflows, you can add that to kind of make a real impact, or to really truly use it. And that's how business process flow works in Power Platform. I hope this has helped. If this video has helped you, please subscribe for more Power Platform tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.